Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a video on the New World Update 1.0.4 patch notes. We've just had these drop literally 5 minutes ago before this video dropped, which is a little bit of a nicer time for me, half 12 AM, which is a little slightly better than the 2 AMs we have been seeing previous to this, so I'm quite glad for that. But we were all a little bit anxious as to where these notes were because obviously usually Wednesday has been, the update day, going kind of backwards the last few weeks. So when we didn't see anything today, my guess was that they were updating the server transfers, trying to get that and Outpost Rush finished. And looking quickly over this, that seems like it is the case. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into this one here. So at the top here, you can see that it says New World Update 1.0.4 will release in Central Europe, US East, South America, and AP Southeast regions at 10 PM PT or 5 AM UTC on October 27th. So if you're watching this as it goes up, it'll be on the day of, or if you're UK like me, we're just on to the 28th now. It'll be about 5-6 AM for us. And the US West region will begin downtime at 11 PM PT on October 27th. It says, greetings adventurers, update 1.0.4 is primarily focused on fixing the top issues our players have been hitting in the recent weeks, especially those impacting wars. Notable fixes include resolving the AoE magic effect war exploit, the issue preventing players from being able to appropriately increase their faction token cap, and beginning to work on addressing the issues causing invulnerability. We'd like to thank you for your patience and as our team continues to work on resolving these issues and for your reports on the official forums. You can find a full list of the changes and fixes below, but first we'd like to share our plan for rolling out Outpost Rush and server transfers in a safe method. So this is something I've really personally been looking forward to, very excited to see what they're going to come up with here. So as you guys can see, it says Outpost Rush and server transfer rollout plan. After downtime required to deploy the 1.0.4 update, we will re-enable Outpost Rush and server transfers at the times listed below. So server transfers, US West will be enabled at 2 AM PT or 9 AM UTC when downtime from 1.0.4 is completed. After we monitor the server transfers in US West to ensure that there are no new issues encountered, we will re-enable it for the remaining regions at 2 PM PT or 9 PM UTC. No server restarts are required. So essentially 12 hours after the servers go live, if everything's running smoothly on the US West region, the rest of the world will begin to have our server transfers enabled, so we can actually go ahead and do that should we want to do it, which is really, really nice. Now, Outpost Rush, we've got South America going live at 2 AM PT when downtime from 1.0.4 is completed. After we monitor the Outpost Rush in South America to ensure that there are no new issues encountered, we will enable it for the following regions at the times below. So again, similar to the server transfers, but this time we're looking specifically at Outpost Rush, and these are going to be in kind of incremental time periods rather than 12 hours after everyone else gets it. So this is going to be US West at 10 AM PT, US East at 12 PM PT, AP Southeast at 2 PM PT, and Central Europe at 7 PM PT. So this is the day after these servers go back up, if you like, for these European guys. Our goal here is to adhere to the schedule above, but we may need to adjust the timing depending on any issues or lack thereof. We'll keep you updated on the forums and through in-game messaging for any incoming downtimes. Thank you to our players in the US West and South America for helping us ensure that these features are ready for the worldwide rollout, and thank you to everyone for understanding and patience. So hopefully, fingers crossed, pretty much from a day's time from when this video goes live, we'll actually have access to these features. They should be up and running. Fingers crossed nothing goes wrong this time, because both of these things are things that I personally have been waiting for. So very exciting stuff. Now onto general changes here then. So we have removed the Everfall starting beach to funnel new players through the other 3 locations to increase the probability of new players and friends being able to start together. Interesting. I would probably suggest that Everfall is by far one of the favourite locations next to Windswood for starting in. Certainly over Monarch's Bluff and First Light, at least initially. But that's been removed for whatever reason. So if you are starting the game now, or you're going to be starting a new character somewhere, you're not going to get Everfall. So yeah, interesting one. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, but that is one of the changes they've made there. The first house discount reduces the purchase price, but does not reduce taxes. However, the UI indicated to players that their taxes would be reduced, and it was only after purchasing the house and needing to pay the taxes that they discovered they had to pay the full price. We will compensate any player who purchased a house before the UI update went out with 2,000 coins, which is pretty nice of them, to be honest. It doesn't really cover a couple of weeks of taxes, especially if you are somewhere where the taxes are extremely high, but it's a decent gesture, and that is kind of something which does fit in, so that's kind of nice. Don't know why it was doing that, but either way, 2,000 coins maybe coming your way if you've been affected by that, so that's kind of cool. Slightly improved performance within wars. Hopefully, when they say slightly, they're being kind of under-predictive rather than over-predictive. I really hope it's more than slightly, because there was quite a few issues, but from the patch notes that I've skimmed through down below, there does seem to be a lot of fixes done with wars, so fingers crossed for that one. They have slightly improved the performance of the life staff with changes to the passive abilities Mending Touch and Blissful Touch. So as you guys can see here, the screenshot is of Mending Touch. Mending Touch is life staff. Heavy attacks now remove 1 debuff when passing through an ally when you get this. I'm assuming this one is kind of, it connects better, it works every time. Maybe there's some issues there. I don't really understand how they could improve that necessarily, unless it maybe passes through multiple enemies. I don't know. But essentially, they've improved that, either the mechanics of how it works in some way, or the ability or passive itself in some way. And then we have Blissful Touch here, as you guys can see, which is light attacks now heal the target for 20% weapon damage when passing through an ally. So with this change, maybe they've increased the amount of healing that this does, or weapon damage percentage of healing that this does, or maybe they've increased the responsiveness of it when it's actually hitting those allies. Who knows? But either way, those spells have been buffed, so if you are a healer, it's good news for you, because most healers have Blissful Touch at the very least. Then says here, in update 1.0.3, we corrected a bug causing companies to lose income from owning multiple territories or from failed war declarations. With this update, we are reimbursing the lost coin revenue. The company treasury will be reimbursed for all of the lost coin revenue resulting from the issue. The revenue returned will not exceed the treasury cap. If a company has been completely abandoned, they will not recover lost coin, of course. We increased the faction token cap by 50% for each faction tier. We've made this change so that players can earn extra tokens if they've hit the reputation cap, want to save up while working towards advancement for the next faction rank. Here are the new values. This is absolutely huge, particularly when we look at these lower tiers, but I'll go through them. So tier 1 has gone from the 5,000 cap, is now 7,500. Tier 2 went from 10k to 15k. Tier 3 went from 15k to 22,500. Tier 4 went from 25,000 to 37,500. And Tier 5 went from 50,000 to 75,000. Now, this is absolutely huge for multiple things. Obviously, your armor, your weapons, some of those are actually at the 50,000 cap. So, having that little bit of leeway, if you do go over by even a few hundred, you're not losing any, which is really nice if you do want to get those weapons and armors and things. But also on top of this, things like Runes of Holding, your converters, material converters, and of course your chisels. So whichever level of chisel you're on, these are going to be able to be a lot more farmable, as it were. Well, obviously you still have to do the quests, right? But when you can get so much more points now, 25,000 extra points at that top level, this is going to mean these things are a lot more accessible to people who do want to farm those out and either, you know, make them and make money off crafting things, or make them for the company, bags, chests, etc. with those Runes of Holding. This is a really good change for those guys. I think overall this is a pretty good change. It's nice to see that we've got a little bit more leeway with that, and maybe in the future, who knows if we'll see some more tiers to those factions coming into play, maybe higher than those tier 5 stuff going forward, who knows? But that's a really cool change. I like that. Next, then, we've got some general bug fixes. They have fixed an issue where the faction token caps were not increasing after the player had completed their rank up quest for the faction. Fixed a rare issue causing world time to skip ahead or behind, which would subsequently cause a variety of issues across the world. Fixed an issue causing players to lose their houses they owned in Cutlass Keys. Interesting. Ripped anyone in Cutlass Keys. Fixed several rare crash issues. Fixed an issue where suspension/ban notification was showing incorrect times. Fixed an issue where players could use their own world transfer token whilst they still had active trading post contracts, causing additional issues when the transfer resolved. So now you won't be able to transfer if you've got any active sell or buy orders. Fixed an issue causing some AI to not spawn in the world as intended. Fixed an issue where Myrkgard corrupted portals and shattered mountains were distributing a higher tier gear than intended and respawning faster than intended. And linked to that, fixed an issue where enemies in Myrkgard corrupted portal events were dropping loot. Now, those 2 points are really huge, really important. What I haven't seen here, though, is any mention of those points actually saying we've then re-enabled the loot from the portals. So I'm not sure that they have re-enabled the tier 5 loot from those tier 5 corrupted portals, level 65 plus ones. Fingers crossed they have, because they've obviously looking like they fixed it there. So fingers crossed we can get our hands on those chests and start getting those, you know, materials towards crafting those end game keystones. But no confirmation here, so I'll have to check that out and make like a confirmation update on that later down the line. But fingers crossed with those things, either this time around or the next time around, we should see those coming back into the game, so that's good. Fixed an issue causing an unintended animation when interacting with the bubbling cauldron housing item, and an issue causing the ladle object not to appear in the player's hand while interacting. Interesting, okay. Fixed an issue where star metal and orichalcum ore veins, where large ore veins were rewarding small amounts of ore and small ore veins were rewarding large amounts of ore. Kind of done a little bit of a reverse there, so that kind of makes more sense with the actual representation of size from these ores now. Fixed an issue where the war lottery timer would not pause correctly during the war lockout period. Fixed the render distance of the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin lights. Some of these were scarily large and some of them were not very big at all. It was kind of a bit glitched, so they fixed that, which is nice. Fixed an issue causing the GM chat tag to show on non-GM players. So, for those of you that don't know, game masters are people that work for Amazon. That are people that are in the world developing and kind of changing things as you're going along, looking after the community, all that type of thing. And for some reason, it was applying above random normal players' heads like myself or you guys watching. So if any of you did get that tag and you've got some screenshots, make sure to share that with me on Discord or something, because that's funny. But yeah, no, that's gone now, so who knows why that was happening, but it's disappeared, thankfully. And they fixed an issue causing armor textures to flicker. Good. Fixed an issue where the Starstone's Barrows expedition, where the arcane protection was not protecting players from certain lasers. Interesting. Glad that's been fixed. That would have been very, very annoying. Glad personally that I didn't experience that. Fixed an issue where certain enemies in the Amrine excavation were invulnerable. Yeah, there was a lot stuck in the retreating mode, so that's good. Fixed an issue where the ice pylon could stay on an infinite cooldown. Again, good. After the last fix, they got rid of the basically been stuck in the world, so now it was the one where it could be on an infinite cooldown even if it wasn't visibly there anywhere, so that's good again. Fixed an issue where players could obtain rings that had 2 perks sharing an exclusive perk label and shouldn't exist on the same ring, so that's good. Kind of a bit of an exploitative thing, but not really anybody's fault if that's kind of how the perk was made or the ring was made or the drop was given. But yeah, glad that's been cleared up, because that was something, you know, it said exclusive perk and then it kind of wasn't. Bit odd, but fixed now. Fixed the issue causing the projectile visual to be absent from Ice Gauntlet and Ice Pylon attacks. That's good, so you can actually see where the attacks are coming from. And finally, fixed an issue where players would be unable to complete a variety of game actions after fast traveling. Again, interacting town boards, such like that, has been fixed, which is greatly appreciated. Now, speculative fixes. These fixes listed below are tentative fixes and mitigations. Our goal is to get these changes out and see if the issues persist so we can continue to work on them and address them further if necessary. So essentially, these are things they've done to prevent things happening and to fix some stuff, and that there might be more causes to, essentially what that means. So they fixed a war exploit where players could use the area of effect or AoE magic effects to capture rally points without taking damage. This should be improved by the war performance and life staff performance updates, but we will continue to monitor to see if the issue persists. Fingers crossed that's fixed. That was really annoying. If it has been, perfect, great job. If not, as I say, they are going to keep an eye on it still, so we're not completely left out there, which is good. We've fixed several known issues causing the player to be invulnerable. This issue is a top priority for the team, and we are continuing to track down fixes and additional causes of the issue. Again, really important, especially in wars. This was a big pain, so if that has been fixed, that is perfect. And finally here it says we have speculatively fixed the issue where players could get stuck after leaving Outpost Rush. This was a rare issue and our team was not able to reproduce it. We will continue to monitor it during the rollout, so fingers crossed again that's gone, because I really do want to see Outpost Rush back on the table as soon as possible. So high hopes for that. But that is it. That's going to be the roundup of everything. To summarize that for you guys, we're getting server transfers back. They should be up for everyone within 24 hours of the rollout of the actual update itself, but usually within about 12 to 16 hours. It looks like they're aiming to have that out, with barring any unforeseen kind of circumstances or issues. Same with Outpost Rush there, about 24 hours after the update goes live. We should all have that active on our servers, again, barring any unforeseen circumstances. And of course, we've had fixes to the wars, fixes to AoEs, fixes to the life staff, and we've seen the fixes to the corrupted portals in Myrkgard. So fingers crossed we get those loots back very soon for those boxes and chests that you get from that. Other than that, that is going to be it for today's video, guys. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Hopefully you found this update recap kind of useful and informative. If you have, be sure to drop a like on the video down below, as it really does help me out. And if you are new here to the channel, you want to see more New World content, then make sure you drop a subscribe down below with the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any of that. If you want to join the thriving Discord community we have going on as well, we'd love to have you over there. So the link for that will be in the description and comments. Make sure to head on over and join us there. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care and peace.